being paid to the culture of the organisation. Thinking that suggests diversity begins and ends with women, or organisations being #diversish by implementing change for women this year, planning for ethnicity next quarter, considering LGBT+ for the next financial year, and stating that disability is not a priority for the organisation. I recommend you find out more about #diversish by visiting their website at www.thevaluable500.com. A lack of awareness of the whole spectrum of diversity that can reside in one individual, or intersectionality as we call it in the trade. For example, I'm a man, gay, disabled, and sarcastic. Wasting time filling in award entries that don't really change the inclusivity or the lived experience of employees day to day. This realisation led me to set up my own diversity and inclusion consultancy. I wanted to enable organisations to implement diversity and inclusion properly and in a sustainable way. Instead of trying to fix individuals and implement programmatic, short-term interventions, I wanted organisations to take an intersectional, human-centred approach that is long-lasting and can future-proof the organisation. That's why I wrote this book. I passionately want change to happen quicker and want those who are responsible for diversity and inclusion to make a bigger impact, a bigger difference to their workplace and their industry. Our workplaces are important for society, and it frustrates me that when I talk to younger disabled people, I discover that they are experiencing similar challenges finding meaningful work to those I faced when I entered the workforce 20 years ago. They still come up against unconscious biases and prejudice and are told what they can't do and not recognised for their innate talents. Work gives us all structure and purpose. It plays an essential role in our lives, our mental health, our economic standing, and our ability to contribute to improving the world. I don't want future generations to face the same struggles I have had to deal with. This passion led me to set up my own business to help support organisations implement diversity and inclusion more effectively. From my experience, I could see that there were clear steps to take that would result in sea change, a new way of thinking that would address the problems diversity and inclusion managers were facing. The inclusive growth system, structured around the 7 C's, which make an organisation a great place to work, is the result of my research into the best practice for implementing diversity and inclusion in an organisation. This audiobook will guide you through each step so that you can make changes that mean your organisation will develop an exceptional reputation for being an inclusive workplace. The inclusive growth system. At the centre of every industry is an organisation that is renowned as a great place to work. You probably know these organisations because they easily attract talent, can retain their people and keep them happy, innovate at high pace, reach new markets and engage with their customers, and are publicly recognised as a great place to work. These positives all stem from inclusive growth. To achieve inclusive growth, you need to deploy these 7 best practices. Clarity. Why diversity and inclusion is important to the organisation. What kind of language gains traction. How the Chief Executive Officer and leadership will take responsibility and ownership for building an inclusive culture. Culture. The importance of culture over tactics and how organisations can define and create their inclusive culture. Change. The importance of treating diversity and inclusion like any other important change programme within the organisation. Colleague experience and design. How to take design thinking and human-centred design to re-engineer systems and processes to be more inclusive. This is the core of the model and helps hardwire inclusion into your organisation. Cyber. Leveraging the power of technology, for instance, artificial